and knew that he's a man of upstanding and outstanding character. We felt very confident in that.
So I first met Leif 3 years ago in a Bible study that we were in together. And it was pretty, the kind of study where you get to know someone really well. And that was really important for setting the groundwork of trust that allowed us to work effectively together in the time since.
So I met Leif after the Bible study with Pat, and
That's
I've really
right.
gotten to know him through this process of working with them with the real estate.
We've always felt strongly that real estate is a valuable investment. We just never actually had the courage to invest in real estate because while it is historically indicated to be a valuable and fruitful investment, it's scary. And because I had a relationship with Leif, and because knowing him, I have a deep sense of understanding and belief in the level of research that he does, the level of integrity that he has as a person, and the level of trust that I know I can count on because of our existing relationship. That led us to have the comfort level that we needed in order to make the kind of investment that we did in rental property that I am confident we wouldn't have made otherwise.
Yeah, I'd agree. I would just say, because Pat had a pre-existing relationship with Leif and knew his character and knew that he's a man of upstanding and outstanding character, we felt very confident in that. But then, as Pat said, we really have grown to appreciate his level of intelligence and also the intentionality with respect to his all of the research, and so just felt really comfortable in a way. As Pat said, we know real estate's a good investment, but we would have never taken the plunge before, and because of Leif, we felt like we could.
So transparency is one thing. They provided all of their own numbers. It was really helpful that they had done this before and recently. And this is not do what I think you should do. This is do what I just did and am continuing to do. And that provided an enormous amount of confidence. Even so far as we bought a unit in the same building where they have a unit. And they know the area down to the inch because they've walked the exact same steps as we now have. And so that produced a lot of confidence. And then a lot of time with a spreadsheet and a lot of emails back and forth answering multitudes of questions, and just a complete willingness to share, whatever information I need in order to be comfortable.
I would say, getting back to the initial question of how it's different than a primary residence. And so, the stock market's just been nuts. It's been very volatile for years. And I'd like to think that that's the best place to invest. But what I really love about us investing in rental property is that, it's not 100% sure, but can we say 95? I mean, real estate is just a really solid, great investment, and it's putting our money to work for us in a way that I don't see consistently coming out of the market. So to me, it felt like a really great way to put our money to work for us.
So there's a tangible benefit beyond just, some investment fund, which we could do and have done, for years, but this is different. And
it is nice to have something more tangible that we can walk into. Yeah.
Based on the thoroughness of Leif's research, there are some areas where you can invest in rental property where you'll realize some amount of return with some amount of risk. And there are other areas where the potential for return relative to what you're investing is higher versus other areas. And having looked at the numbers, having looked at the research, having looked at all the opportunities, I was compelled by the depth and the quality and the potential for not just return on investment, which is there, but also then the side benefit of being able to use a place for our own purposes a couple of weeks a year that is in a really beautiful place. Well, as first-time investors, I suspect if we were to do it again, a lot of those questions were already answered. But as first-time investors, it was super scary. And we needed a lot of reassurance, a lot of hand-holding, a lot of...
real-time communication.
Yeah, real-time. So I don't know how many text messages we shot back and forth, but it was a lot. Suffice to say, Leif was always there, answering all hours of the day and night. Not that he has to, but turns out he did, and it was very reassuring, and it really made the difference for us in terms of helping us get to that level of comfort through what is a challenging, emotionally charged time.
So I would say what I loved so much is that Leif shot us a ton of possible properties, and we would go through and look at them and then be able to say to him, this is what we like about this property, or we kind of settled on a particular size that we wanted, and so that's all we saw after that. And we, where we wanted to be along that whole stretch. I felt like Leif really heard where we were looking and helped us to dial in by the variety of options. I think the thing that I loved the most was how easy Leif made it for us to do this. So every step of the way, whether it was trying to find the property or then, get into contract on the property, finding a mortgage broker, the whole 9 yards, every step of the way, he made it really easy for us.
And it was easy because he had done it before. And he had walked that road just ahead of us and had made the relationships, has the connections to the title company, the property management company. Well, he is the property management company, so he has a really close relationship to the property management company. But yeah, as Sue said, the mortgage broker, right? All of the pieces were known and just laid out just when I needed them.
Yeah, Leif was excellent with communication. I mean, so with all of the variety of different ways to communicate, I feel like we experienced them all. So, phone calls, meeting in person, but then also text messages and the emails, just to make sure that we understood the documents, that we understood what we were reading, that we understood the subtle nuances of what was being said in the documents and those sorts of things. So really felt like not only was Leif responsive to our questions, he took the initiative to reach out to us. This is often where people get confused, or this is a misunderstanding that can happen, and just cleared those things up in advance, so we just didn't even have to worry about it. I mean, I really felt secure that we didn't have to do a ton of our own vetting because Leif was doing it for us and communicating that.
Yeah. And then there was also the balance between the personal touch communication, phone calls, text messages, and also the efficiency of electronic communication, emails, as well as e-signed documents and the things that make the whole process a lot easier, because you don't have to always be meeting to sign things, and it's just click here, click here, click here. If you have any questions, I'll answer them, and off you go. We have already referred Leif to friends and family and will continue to.
Yeah, would love, and especially would love for family to invest too. I mean, that would be a blast. But without hesitation, no hesitation whatsoever, recommending Leif. And we literally would not have been able to do this. And it's just, it feels like it's going to be an incredible blessing, not only for us, but for our kids. And for the future, our family's future. It feels like just such a solid investment that we would not have been able to do any other way. We just wouldn't. We wouldn't have taken it on.
Right.
So it feels like because of Leif, we're getting this great gift for our future, which is wonderful.
Ah.